I want to talk tonight about stopping an attack. So oftentimes in self-defense, you're thinking about what technique am I going to do for the attack. Well, we're really just going to work on how do I stop it? How do I just stop it from happening? And there are two things that are really, really effective, maybe three. We'll touch on the third one, which works sometimes, that you can use every time to thwart an attack. So the first one that we're going to do is called the fence or crashing, the spear. There's a bunch of different names for it, but essentially it's a natural reaction that you will do where you will splay your hands out in front of you trying to push away danger, right? It's coming at you and you just want to stop it. It's not something that you're really going to train up to do, but it's something that's going to happen naturally. As something moves towards you, your head's going to go down, your arms are going to go out. We're going to use that motion to try to keep somebody away. When we practice, we're going to be very precise on how we put our hands, but in reality, it sort of doesn't matter. It's all going to happen on its own. So when you're practicing it, the first way that we typically practice it is we take the right hand and we have the hand open and we use this bony part of the forearm. We put it right against their collarbone, right here. So right in that space between the neck and the collarbone. The other hand is usually used here on the inside of the arm. And if you're really doing this well, okay, your forearm is catching both the upper arm and the lower arm simultaneously. Okay? So he's going to come in and he's just going to really try to wrap his arms around me. Okay? And I'm really just going to do this. He can reach low, he can reach high, and I'm really just working to try to keep him away. So that's an exercise that you can use to feel how that feels. But in real life, when that happens, it's going to be more of a reaction. As he moves towards you, it's just going to be like, oh my God. And you're going to find yourself, come on back in this position. With your head squinched down, you'll probably squint your eyes or close your eyes. You'll probably inhale like you're scared, and your arms will just splay out. Okay? If you're not precise here, right, if one of them happens to hit you in the face, right, or this happens to slip under your arm, and you're like this is all still fine. You're also going through that exercise of, oh my God, stay away from me. But with a little bit of reaction drilling that you can do in your class, which is just having a person just kind of jump right at you, okay? And you just do that, okay, over and over, that'll be a very natural reaction in your mind. And again, I'm not doing a technique, right? So he's not coming at me and I'm trying to do some kind of like punch and throw and that kind of stuff, because that's not what my brain is going to do. The very first thing that's going to happen is just going to be like, stay away from me. And then as he keeps trying to come towards me, I'm really just going to be like backing off and trying to keep him away. With a little bit of work, you can make that a little more precise and just keep him away. It's something that you can also use for a punch if the guy throws a punch at you. Same thing. The second thing that you might do is reach with one side or the other dominant. Okay? Just depends on how you're standing, how you react normally. And what you want to do is you want to have sort of target focus. And this is something you could train a little bit. Again, it's a very natural reaction. But if you do some target focus training, you will always head for the same spot. And I'm always going to either head for the throat or just the face. And if the person's coming at me, it's just to react like this. Just trying to keep the person away. Okay? It could be in the throat like that, or it could just be in the face. Again, you're not sure how you're going to necessarily react when somebody moves at you. You might do this, where you're covering your head and trying to keep away. You may have not been really headed in that direction. He starts moving towards you, and you just kind of do this, where you're just reaching out and trying to keep them away. So that's something that you can train in. Somebody can move towards you, again, and you can just try to stop them from getting there. Your techniques, the things that you train in, can follow. And the last thing is where you know there's a problem. So those two are reactionary. Like, oh, I've got to keep that away. The third one is the one that you may or may not get away with because it's dependent on the fact that you know there's an issue. So it could be more like we're having words, right? I'm like, dude, you got to stay away. And he's really aggressive, right? And he's like, come on, he's doing this kind of thing, right? And I'm trying to hold him away. And it's sort of the groin kick push. Okay? It's not necessarily some sort of like, I'm going to hit him in the groin. It's more like I use this instep part of my foot, and I do it in the groin area, right? So I'm kind of doing it between the belly button and the groin. It's It's right in that area, and when you push on that area, it causes the hips to rotate in their socket. And so as they're moving towards you, you can really kind of take it and push them away from you like that. Okay? Maybe they're even at a distance and they walk towards you. You can just be like, stay away. It's one of those keep away kind of techniques, which will give you the chance as it comes in to kind of go in and bam, you know, and take them out. You can only do that though when you know there's an altercation about to come. If it's something else, if I'm sitting here talking to you and he just comes from the side and I might just be like, stay away. Okay? Great.